I have officially broken my coffee maker. Ay, ay, ay. I got everything prepared to make my coffee as usual, but when I turned it on, I waited a few and then I realized there's nothing going on. There's no noise, nothing. And then I start smelling a bit of like a burnt motor smell, like burning. Yeah, I turned it off and I think I have officially broken my coffee maker. I can only assume that the water got too cold too fast and froze and was not able to go through whatever the little hose is in there. And so nothing was going through there, and I have ruined my coffee maker. No water was running through it, nothing at all. I think this is my sign that I will need to heat my house with something besides just an electric blanket, because any liquids out here get really, really cold and freeze very, very fast. So this will be my new pour over method for a while. So I just left this out last night and it is frozen. I had a little bit of water there. But when I go to my fridge, that trick, that comment was a tip about putting my water inside that fridge, and it could be preventing my water from freezing because it's insulated. Even though you wouldn't think so, it actually works. It actually works. My water does not completely freeze in that fridge. So now I will heat my water with the electric kettle and do the pour over method. Sometimes I use this hot pot and heat up just a tiny bit of water because it doesn't require as much water versus the kettle. The kettle has like a limited amount that I need to pour, and if I'm just going to be brushing my teeth, then I don't need very much. But I'll be using the kettle just because its spout is a lot easier to pour than with this hot pot, especially when I'm doing my coffee. So now to salvage what I can, I just pop this little plastic piece off, and this is going to be my emergency drip coffee maker, filter, whatever you call those. This is it. I just pop that right off. It has a hole. And the nice part is that it fits the filters just fine, but that's what's going to pop right off. So that's another thing, guys. In a pinch, if you're still able to heat up some water, this is one way that you can use a broken coffee maker to do a pour over for your coffee. And this is all you're going to do. Just make sure you keep an eye out of how much water you're putting in there in the tumbler, because these kind of filter holders don't have a little window where you can see how much water's going in there and how much liquid is already in your container, in your mug, in your tumbler. So you're going to have to keep a good eye and kind of be lifting and seeing. Like I said, in a pinch or as a backup for your drip coffee, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It'll get the job done. And that's it. There we go. Yeah, it's such a bummer. Such a bummer that I cannot I can't use that little teeny coffee machine, but regardless, I will be having coffee. As long as there is coffee to be had, I will be having coffee. Ooh. Yeah. As you saw, I pulled the little spring and the plastic part and made my own thingamabobber, and that works. That works for now. I do have a another coffee maker, but that one draws 1500-ish watts, and it probably wouldn't be too bad. But right now, with it being freezing cold, I'm gonna hold off on using that just for a tad. Yeah, that one I will definitely enjoy later when it's not so cold and I am actually tied to the utilities and have the electric power, and that'll be coming up pretty soon. I don't know how people did it back in the day. I mean, they had no choice, right? They had to do what they had to do. They had to heat up water with the fire, and they just had to do it, or they had dirty clothes and dirty dishes. So you want to eat off your dirty dishes and wear your dirty clothes over and over, or you just made that fire and got to it. So I give it to them. They were some tough people. They really were. Oh my god. That's not the coffee, guys. That's my breath. It's a little chilly in here. Hence the clothing, right? But yeah, my ideal way of heating that I believe is sustainable, there's a little asterisk to that. It's sustainable because I believe God created it this way, is by a wood stove, by fire. Heating yourself, cooking, all that with the wood stove, very sustainable. Now, sometimes the way that big corporations and the way that we've been accustomed to of them over chopping trees, that's a debatable topic. I'm not going to get into that. But I do believe that God produced enough trees that most of the time you don't even need to cut down trees. There's so many trees that are just, they've fallen over on their own. If you have an efficient little stove, you can go and gather and pick up pieces of wood, chunks of wood, chop those down. But here's the caveat though. Unless you were going to pay for it, which I'm not even sure how much like big loads of wood are. I've seen a few pieces of wood for like firewood when you go to the stores, and they're like, well, at the time they were $5, $6, $7 for just a handful of pieces already chopped up. And that's a lot. I don't think that'll last very much, and it'll add up really, really fast. You have to definitely get that in bulk to get a better price. But I mean, for it to be free heating for your wood stove, or very, very cheap, you would have to have a lot of land with a lot of trees that then you can go and gather your own firewood. Now that is sustainable. That, I think, is the way that perhaps God had planned it. All right. I don't think I've shown you these. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I don't know. I got a couple of these pair of mittens, and it's supposed to be, I believe, some parts, I can't remember if it's the inside, the outside. Maybe the inside is like a wool blend. The outside is more cotton or synthetic or something. I don't know. But I think like you can see it's a mix. It's a mix of maybe wool, cotton, polyester. I don't know. But like the inside, this part keeps me really warm. I was shocked. Keeps me really warm compared to the regular gloves. I have a few pair of gloves and mittens that I've gotten over the years, but I got a couple of these pair of they're handmade. So like you can see, they are DIY handmade in, I wouldn't call it an Amish store, but they had some products that the Amish sold in there as well. Handmade things, crafty things. People would sell that kind of stuff in there. Also food, and it would be advertised as Amish this and Amish that kind of like food. And you can tell because it was packaged very different. They also had regular packaged things, so maybe they had something, a deal with some Amish families up north. And these have actually kept me really warm. So yeah, I do believe wool definitely helps quite a bit. Now when it's freezing cold, I still feel my fingertips are a tad bit cold. But overall, these keep me warmer than like I mentioned, I would get like, I don't know, like at Walmart or whatever. These are definitely a whole lot better. So yeah, as far as heating my off-gridish tiny house, I like the idea of a wood stove. I have never had a wood stove, so I have no idea how to even do that, because I do have the bunk up top. I don't know how much clearance I would have. I know they make some tiny little ones, these little mini wood stoves. I get kind of leery having like open flame inside. It makes me nervous. It makes me nervous. Even the propane, anything like that makes me nervous. I am more familiar with electricity. So like an electric space heater, electric blanket now that I have, like that is, I'm more comfortable with that. I don't know if it's safer or not, but I'm more used to that. I'm more comfortable with that. But I think a wood stove is more sustainable, just because I believe that God created it in a way where the trees are constantly regrowing and heat ourselves, cook and such. With that, here's a little asterisk, a little caveat, right, where it's more sustainable and better free heating in a way, if you have land that actually has a lot of trees and you can gather your own. That would be ideal. So I'm not sure how much would cost. I like for a bulk, what do they call them, a quart of wood, something like that, for like a big amount of wood. And I can't put that outside my RV. I can't do that here. And that might be an idea versus reality. In my head, it sounds nice, but I don't even know how much that would be. Whenever I go to a store, I see they have like 5-6 little pieces of wood and they're almost $10, and they're already like chopped for you and everything. But that seems a bit pricey for keeping myself warm and cooking with and all that. You would have to get to know a company that gets rid of wood. I mean, like, you guys, some of the comments are even like, wood is free. Well, maybe pallets of wood, I would imagine. But I know some of those are treated with like chemicals. So is that safe? I don't know. Some of that stuff has like chemicals already sprayed into it. I do know you could get like free pallets, cheap pallets, but then you break them down and then there's your firewood. But at the same time, I don't know. It's a lot of pros and cons to everything, right? You guys also suggested a diesel heater. I don't know, that one I'm not very familiar at all with. I'm more familiar with propane heating versus like a diesel heater. So for me, I guess the one that I would go with and that I'm looking into is the propane heater, the little Mr. Buddy heaters. That one, I think I'm gonna purchase that one. Just for the simplicity. I can like screw them there and that's pretty much it. You ignite it with the little button. And it's pretty simple. It's indoor safe. So all of those make me nervous, guys. All of those make me a little nervous. But I think my best bet would be the little buddy heater, the propane one. So that's what I'm gonna be looking to get. And get a few of those little green cylinders. And then that'll be just to cut the chill during the day, because I don't know if I want to have that going at night. I don't know, your comments make me a little bit nervous. Some of these videos make me a bit nervous, where it's like, have the heaters going, but crack a window, make sure you have this. Oh, it's dangerous. Oh, don't do that. Don't do it at night. Make sure to have ventilation. Oh, and then some other comments are, oh no, those are perfectly safe, those are fine, you know, you don't have to do this or that. And then another one's like, oh, be careful because you do have to do this or you do have to do that. So I'm like, oh gosh. So what is it? I don't know. As far as I know the little buddy heaters, it says it's safe indoors, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna be purchasing here pretty soon, guys. I'm gonna go and kind of price them out and see what they are. I'm gonna be using that on the couple days, sometimes 3 days in a row, where the Arctic blast just get ridiculous. Because the rest of the time it's not bad. It's chilly, but it's not like freezing cold. And I've done just fine with layering and the electric blanket like that. I've slept really nicely. That's not a problem. I've already insulated my windows in the back that way where my bed is, so I don't have the draft coming in. Yeah, I'm okay. Only because I'm down south, not up north. That makes a difference. That makes a huge difference. I don't live in the northern states. I live down south. So that makes a huge difference in how cold it actually gets and how long it stays in those temperatures. And down here, it has gotten in the single digits with the wind chill, but it doesn't stay that way most of the winter. So we'll just have like a day or two or three in a row where it drops way down, but the rest of the time it's above freezing. So yeah, big difference. Anyhow, I'm gonna finish my coffee and get myself together and get ready to go to work. Go to work for a while. But yeah, guys, I thank you for listening, and I will catch you on the next video, where hopefully, I don't know, maybe next week. And I think I will go with the propane heat, the buddy heaters. And that's basically just when I happen to be at home during the day, just to cut the chill when it's those really extreme bad days, bad temperatures. And that's it. I get too nervous like having it on at night. I probably wouldn't sleep right if so it'll just be during the day. As soon as I get this next paycheck, I will have enough to go and get that, because I've already been kind of eyeballing to see what they are on Amazon, so they should be comparable at like Walmart, Home Depot, things like that. And go get that. So yeah, my electric blanket will take care of the rest. So all right, bye guys. Thanks so much for watching Dia's Frugal Life. I'm Dia, and if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe for more future videos. Hit that thumbs up, put a comment on there, all that good stuff. You can also join the channel and become part of our coffee club. Thanks for all your love and support. Bye guys.